Hiya guys, and welcome to another trip with Daniel Meredith Photography. Today we're down in Lulworth Cove down in the south coast of England, also known as Jurassic Coast. Tonight's adventure is going to be going to Lulworth Cove, taking some astrophotography shots along with the sunset, then taking the coastal path over to Durdle Door, taking some snaps on the way, and I hope you guys can join me for the adventure. Hi, so the sun's set. I'm back down in the cove. It's getting fairly dark. It's kind of blue hour. Jupiter's just started to show itself. So what I thought I would do is just give you a run through of the gear that I'm using tonight and how I attempt to capture the Milky Way here in the cove. So what we have here is the Vanguard tripod with the Canon 6D attached on top, with a Stigma 35mm prime lens with an intervalometer on top of that to capture the exposures. The 35mm is aperture 1.4, which means it gets a lot of light into that lens. It is, well, in my opinion, one of the best lenses there is. There's others obviously, but for me, it's done me well so far. I think I got about maybe an hour and a half until it's actually dark enough to start shooting the Milky Way, and then I shall see what I produce from that. I'll try and keep you updated as I go along. I have brought a light with me this time, so I'll be able to shoot in the dark a bit more efficiently than I did at Stonehenge. So let's just wait for darkness and let's get on to it. One thing I wanted to show you is focusing. To get to affinity, I'm going to use the 35mm I said earlier. So once your camera's switched on, you go into live view. Once you're in live view, you zoom in on a bright star or a planet. In my case, it's Jupiter. And then you zoom in again and you zoom in again. Once you've got the maximum zoom in, you use your manual focus left and right until you get the smallest dot on your screen. If you go one way or another, it'll go blurry and donuts, as they call them, or they just become bigger. Once you've got to the smallest point, you're in infinity focus, and then you're good to go. Once I've had a few shots from here from the cove, I'll head back to the car. I was going to walk the coastal path over to Durdle Door, but that's going to be a hell of a trek with the gear I have. So I'll chuck it in the boot and then just drive around to Durdle Door and set up there for a couple more hours, take some shots of that fantastic place and location, and hopefully, like I say, keep vlogging on the way. It's only me, so it's kind of difficult to do everything I want to do how I want to do it, but we'll see what happens. I've just left Lulworth Cove and I'm at Man of War Beach down at Durdle Door, the second location. Durdle Door is literally around the corner from the beach there, so my first composition is going to be overlooking the cove there at Man of War Beach. Make my way around to Durdle Door, might get down onto the sand or the beach there to try and get a decent composure of the arch. Mainly going to be using settings are around about 2.8 ISO 3200. It's incredibly dark here, it's fantastic. So let's get to it and see what we can produce. So I've made it down to Durdle Door Beach. We've got the arch just across the way from me here, and this is the final stop of tonight's adventure. The sky down here is something else. I mean, Jupiter is so bright, it is reflected in the water, and the Milky Way detail is phenomenal. So far, I've done a few panels. As always, I've done a couple of selfies in front of the arch, and I got about 20 images to stack of the Milky Way. So I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a brief on panoramas. The trick to panoramas, as far as I've found and been told, is to make sure the tripod is level. Once you're level, make sure that your camera is level before you shoot. If you do these two things, when you come to stitching, it's going to become a lot easier. Also, when shooting, make sure you overlap by a third. There's different ways of doing panoramas. You can do it in a landscape and do shot after shot, left or right, or you can do a landscape vertical, or you can do a portrait left to right or vertical, up and down. All different ways give different results, and it really helps, as I say, if you keep it overlap by a third and keep every shot level before you take the shot, because some software really struggles with trying to put the stitches together. The other thing I recommend, if you use Lightroom, is to put all the files you want to stitch into a panorama, put them into Lightroom, and then do a lens correction first. That way every shot is going to be every shot is going to be what lens you've used to stitch that panorama together. Also in Lightroom you can also do a exposure match, so that's another thing you could do before you do your lens correction and then before you try to stitch. That way you can get some really good results. I'm looking forward actually to wrapping up here, go and get a cup of coffee and something to eat, and then getting 2 hours home. Probably look at the SD card before I go to bed, because you know what it's like. But there's a few other things I wanted to try here first. There's some locations I haven't been to on this beach. I believe there's a cave somewhere down on this beach, so I might go and see if I can check that out and get a shot from inside the cave. So yeah, any questions, please subscribe if you like this, give a like, give a follow on Instagram, DanielMeredith13. The link is by here with my Facebook page, and I'll see you next time. Take care.